entrepreneurs, welcome to episode 18 of the Daily List Report. We've got a super exciting show for you today. Happy Earth Day. Today is the 50th anniversary of Earth Day. We've got super blue skies out right now. I was taking a walk with my son last night and just looking up at the sky, and we're used to seeing all of these planes streaming towards LAX. We're in Southern California, and the skies are empty. The skies are blue. So hopefully you can take a moment today to get outside and take a walk around. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous day. As we did before, let's just look real quick. We've got a YouTube channel, so look at all of this great content that's on YouTube. I promise we'll edit out any of the bad moments like what just happened. But if you take a look here, you're going to have access to full episodes, access to clips. There's a bunch of great information here. So just go to YouTube, search for the Daily List Report, do us a favor and subscribe to the channel, and you're going to get access to all of this content, even if you are unable to watch live. We've got a super exciting show today. We are going to announce a new product launch. So I'm going to have Ajay, Shah, my co-founder and CEO, on in just a moment. We're going to talk a little bit about what that product is and why we launched it. And I'm actually going to give you a demo of it so you can check that out. Fantastic, super exciting. Let's go to the headlines. So few headlines today, not as many as yesterday, but some things to celebrate, right? Again, today is Earth Day. And what's interesting is there's been all of these stories that have been popping up across the country, right? So coyotes meandering down Michigan Avenue in Chicago. Golden Gate Bridge has animals. There's apparently boar-like javelins congregating in Arizona in a shopping center. So it's an interesting time. And what we've talked about on this show are some of the things that might outlast this pandemic. And one of those things might be a move to a bit of a greener planet. We're all enjoying cleaner skies than ever before. Actually, air pollution is down almost 30% in Los Angeles. Nitrogen dioxide pollution in the northeastern U.S. is down 30%. Apparently in India, they're getting sites that they haven't had in decades that include the Himalayas. So we're all getting a sense of the beauty and the impact that we have in terms of the pollution that we create as we drive and we fly planes and all of that. And so that's going to be interesting to sort of follow. Second thing, and this is really good news, is that the Senate passed the deal. This is the deal we talked about yesterday that they were close to. So the Senate passed the deal to inject $310 billion more into the PPP program, which ran out of money last week. The EIDL, which is the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program, that's going to get an extra $50 billion. So there's going to be a lot more money available there. Now, this bill specifically set aside about $60 billion of PPP funding exclusively for small and medium-sized community banks. So they're trying to make sure that a chunk of this money can be allocated kind of at the fringes in the small regional banks that are servicing small businesses, minority-owned businesses, things like that. And so that's really exciting. So the House is expected to pass this soon. This is expected to be signed by the president. And so hopefully this is going to be back in play real soon. Now, here's a couple things to note, though. So if you've already applied for a PPP loan, you should check with your lender to see if you need to reapply or if you're still in line. So when this happens later this week, make sure that if you have an application that you at least double check and confirm that you're still in line for that, or if you have to reapply. Now, in the case of the EIDL, if you applied for that, you do not need to reapply. So that's on a first come, first served basis. You're still in line if you've submitted your application, so you don't have to worry about that. Last thing is a little bit of news from the Mortgage Bankers Association. So their survey from last week. On a seasonally adjusted basis, just a slight downtick in mortgage applications. This is refinance and purchase, so down about 0.3%. And there's a couple quotes here which I'm going to read. So Joel Kahn, who is the Associate VP of Economic and Industry Forecasting for the Mortgage Bankers Association, said the following. He said that mortgage applications were essentially unchanged last week as a slight drop in refinance activity was offset by a 2% increase in purchase applications. And we talked about this earlier in the week. So California and Washington, which were two states that were hit fairly early with this, saw another week of rising activity. And so we saw more listing activity in some of the earlier hit areas, and that's continuing to grow. So despite the weekly gain, the purchase index remains close to its lowest level since 2015, and it's 30% down from a year ago. So we're seeing some rebound in listing activity, some rebound in purchase mortgage applications, still lots of refinancing go on. But those are the things. So as soon as the the House passes the bill and the president signs it, we'll definitely keep you posted of that. But make sure that if you didn't take advantage of the PPP or the EIDL program, that you do so. Fantastic. Okay, so let's talk about the next couple days. So tomorrow we've got Michael Burdelis on. He's a top agent. He's done 1,400 transactions in his career, and he's going to talk about how to build pipeline during this time. Super excited for that. On Friday, we've got our second Fun Friday. We got Risa Grau coming on. She's going to talk about how to boost your immune system. She's a nutritionist, and so that's going to be really, really great content. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to bring on a familiar guest for all of you. This is Ajay Shah, co-founder and CEO of ListReports. Ajay, say hi to everybody.
Hey, agentpreneurs, how are you?
That's awesome. That's awesome. And as we go through this, if you guys have questions, please jump in and let us know what questions you have about what we're about to talk about. So here's what we're going to talk about today. Super exciting day for ListReports. Many of you out there listening right now have used our Shareables product. Shareables are, and I'm actually going to pull up a screen here so you can see it. So Shareables are a product that are delivered via our daily email. So almost 200,000 agents across the country get an email from us every day where we have great content. We post links to the videos on the daily list report. But what we're going to talk about today, this section right here. So we've got your shareables. So 5 days a week, you get a handcrafted shareable that are created by artists all over the world. And those are completely free to you when you sign up for ListReports. And you can click and you can post those to Instagram, you can post them to Facebook, and it's tremendous, tremendous service, and it's been adopted by tens of thousands of agents, posted a million times across social media. So what we're going to talk about today, though, and AJ, is I'm going to bring you back on here, is what are we doing now? Shareables have been super popular product for us, adopted by tons of people, but we've also learned some things. So what are we announcing today, AJ?
Well, oh wow, what an honor. I get to announce it
You
myself
do
here.
get to announce it. One of the perks.
We we are introducing something that we call premium shareables. And this is a greatly enhanced version of shareables that we're going to talk about today. I actually am pretty honored to be the one to announce it because this is your brainchild, Randy. So a lot of the work that's gone into it has really come from you and your team, and so it's pretty extraordinary. But yeah, that's what we're announcing today.
That's right. Premium Shareables is now available. And we're going to talk in a few minutes about what that is. What is Premium Shareables? What do you get with that? It is a paid product. We're going to go through a demo of that as well. But AJ, why did we do this? Why did we decide to put together a product that A, costs money, and it's really one of the first times we've ever done that, right? So AJ, talk a
Mhm.
little bit about why we decided to bring this product to market.
Yeah, yes. So it's a great question. And it's something that we've really thought long and hard about because if you know anything about list reports, what we've tried to do is basically provide free products to real estate agents and find other ways to monetize these things. But we're also limited in terms of our ability to do that. There's RESPA considerations and other compliance laws that we have to follow. So sometimes the only way to actually provide value to the agent is directly and have a direct stream of revenue that we have to collect from a real estate agent. This is really the first time that I can think of that we've done that. We've had some print products that we've had to charge for because we've had hard cost around those, but this is quite different in that we're actually charging for a product. And why are we doing that right now? Well, we're hearing a couple things from our real estate agents. They're looking for better, more interesting, more compelling ways to stay in front of their sphere of influence, right? And that influence largely lives on Facebook, but other social media uh, platforms like Instagram and like LinkedIn. So we wanted to make sure that we were making every effort possible to provide tools and capabilities that would allow agents to have even better ways to do that. So that's part one in terms of why we're rolling this out. Part two, though, and the reason that we ultimately decided to charge for this product, I think a pretty reasonable fee, by the way, just for what you're getting in terms of the product, is we got a lot of agents telling us, hey, we need something that not every agent has access to, so that we have a way of providing more exclusive value to our consumers, to our sphere of influence that's different than what other agents are saying. And this is somewhat a reflection or a result of shareables being a victim of their own success, and that some agents are actually
Absolutely.
seeing other people post shareables, that they were going to post. So they wanted a greater diversity of these and more options that only they had available for paying for a product or feature.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think, make no mistake, we are committed to delivering a lot of free, great products, right, to our agents. We've delivered now over 3 million free marketing kits, since our inception, and 5 days a week, free shareables. But you're right, is that one of the things that we've heard time and time again, especially during this time, when your opportunities to reach your sphere and to be present in front of them are more limited and social is more important than ever, is to make sure that you had an opportunity at a what we hope is a very accessible price point, and we'll get to that in just a moment, to be able to stand out and to further differentiate yourself from everybody else. And so, that's been a big part of kind of our consideration here, right, AJ, is making sure that this is accessible, making sure that our agents know that we are committed to delivering free products.
Yeah, I think that's right. And we had a lot of agents who were asking exactly for this functionality, and we
Yes.
scratched our heads. We said, hey, use Canva, use some of these other solutions. But it ran sort of contrary to how we think about our own business, which is give the solutions to the agents that they need in the easiest possible way, right? And so we were like sending them off to other companies and stuff. I think great products, but frankly, forcing them to learn new solutions and so on, when really what they wanted version of the regular shareable that we were offering.
I think you're right, AJ, and I'll never forget. I've spoken to a lot of our Shareables users, and I had a conversation with one a few months ago. And what she said to me was, she said, "I love Shareables." I said, "Why do you love Shareables?" She said, "Because I've got a lot to do, right? As an agent, I've got lots of things that I need to think about." And to be able to not have to think about what to share, right? And to be able to sort of quote unquote take care of my social media in 2 minutes in the morning was a huge value prop. And I think to your point about Canva, and maybe you can elaborate on that a little bit, is talk about sort of our position around ease of use and speed and best practices and playbooks.
Yeah, so I think, the most important thing that we try to do is find some sort of behavior or uh, user interface that that we see that an agent can easily adopt, and then to just keep on building on that, as opposed to having them set of tools, which is tricky. And by the way, something that everybody hates, which is having to learn another login and have to put, all of this together as well. It gets tricky and it gets to be very time consuming, so that you want to do something simple and it ends up being very involved along the way. And so, we went back to our roots and we said, okay, what is it that an agent wants to do with shareables? Well, they want to put some branding and customization around them, and maybe even use them as a lead gen funnel. And most importantly, they just want a branded way to stay in front of their sphere of influence. And so we looked at that, and this is exactly what we're doing with Shareables. This is what we're doing with list packs, right? Providing more and more ways for you to just have an excuse to be in front of your sphere of influence in a way where you get the brand value recognition for that.
That's right, AJ, right? Because that takes many forms, right? So in the case of a shareable, maybe you're delighting somebody. In the case of a list pack, you're giving them access to something that's, a national pastime, right? Which is looking at houses. And so we're trying to help you to be in front of your consumers in the right ways, but importantly, make it super, super easy. Couple clicks and you're good to go. And you can focus on your other aspects of lead generation, your transactions, and all of those types of things. So H, with that, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to sort of explain a little bit about what this is. So I'm going to pull up a couple value props here. So first of all, let's start with the price, right? We don't want to dance around this because we tried to make this as accessible as possible. So originally when we conceived of this product, we were going to come to market around $48 a month. And I think that right now, because we want to make sure that as many agents as possible have access to it, the product is $24 a month. And we hope that that's reasonable when you see the value that you get with it. In addition to that, if you decide to pay for a year in advance, you can save even more money, and it's effectively $20 a month. So we think for the time that it's going to save you, for the value that it creates, We think it's really good value, and we hope you agree with us. So let's talk a little bit about what you get with premium shareables. So the first one is a request that we've gotten quite a bit, right? Which is the expiration on shareables. So today you get access to shareables for 5 days, which is a week. You get access to the last 5 shareables in the library, and you're good to go. Is a way to help you further differentiate yourself is there's no lock on that anymore with premium shareables. So you can go back to the shareables way back in August, and we have a tremendous library of really great assets that you can share. The second value prop here is the branding, the co-branding. I'm sorry, the branding, not co-branding. So you are going to be able to add your branding to the shareables. And that is a combination of picking a color that matches your brand, or if you're so inclined, a color that matches the actual shareable. Your name and contact information is present on the shareable. You can even put a custom tagline, and I'm going to give you a demo of this in just a moment. The third one is that we've actually included a lead form with these shareables. And so anybody who clicks on it is actually taken to a page with your name, your contact information, and you actually can collect leads, and these are going to flow right into the ListRapport system for you. The fourth one, and this one I think is really exciting, is that you actually get 2 additional exclusive shareables per week. And these are only available to subscribers. So in addition to having access to the library of shareables going back to August, you're actually going to get 2 additional shareables each week as we continue to build that library of shareables that are only available to subscribers. But there's more. I feel like an infomercial person. You also get the ability to create a custom shareable. And so again, against the value prop of ease of use, you actually can come in here, pick a really gorgeous template, put in some text. Maybe it's a question of the day that you want to ask. Maybe it's a fun fact that you learned. You can actually create your own shareables. You can add your branded frame to them, and you're set. You're ready to go. And the last one is our first data-driven shareable. And what I mean by that is the ability for you to pull in some data from a local market, a median price in your favorite city, and to put that against some fun fact. Did you know that you could buy 6,000 Roomba vacuums for the median price of a home in X city? And this falls into the category of trivia, fun facts, really interesting stuff that you didn't know you wanted to know, but it's fun and engaging stuff for people to read on social media. And so all of those are actually available to you within the Premium Shareables product. So all of that's available to you, $24 a month. If you pay for a year in advance, then that effectively goes down to $20 a month. So again, trying to make that super accessible. What I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to give you a product demo. So let's go through this real quick. So what you're seeing on the screen right now is something that should look generally familiar for those of you who are Shareables users. So coming out of, again, your daily email, you have a shareable accessible to you. You click on that shareable, you're taken into something that you should be familiar with. And in this case, I've already made myself a subscriber. So I'm a subscriber of this product. I can go through as always, and I can load additional shareables. But again, this library now goes all the way back in time. So for those of you who are used to seeing expiration on some of these, you're not going to see that anymore. So you can actually go back in time as far as you want and have access to the entire history of these shareables. This is the branding piece, and we're really excited about how this turned out. So I've selected a shareable here, in this case, make a good first impression. And under my choose my branding, we've got a bunch of different color combinations here. So on the top, we've got some color combinations that we're particularly fond of that match palettes that we like. And then down on the bottom, we've actually put in some templates here for color palettes for some of the top brokerages. And we'll continue to add to this over time. So in this case, I'm going to pick Minty because it seems like it might match this reasonably well. So now you see what happened here is the shareable is now wrapped in a frame. That frame is a color that I've selected. It's got my name, my contact information, my logo. This would obviously be your brokerage logo. And then I have one other option, which is easy to select, which is to add a tagline. So I've created a tagline here, serving Old Town Orange, where our office is based for 20 years. And if I click on that, that gets added right to the frame. And you can see that up there. And I'm set, just like you always are. Now I've customized the shareable. We've even got the caption here. So the caption here can be copied just like you're used to doing. And then I can download this. I can share it on Facebook. So let's go ahead and just download this one so you can see what it looks like. And for you Instagram users, and this is wildly popular on Instagram, so you can just download it. And now you've got this beautiful image here, which has your tagline, which you can customize as much as you want. I've chosen a nice minty frame here that in this case sort of matches the shareable itself. And I've got my contact information, and you're ready to go. So it really is that easy. And if you wanted to come back and change and say, okay, well, let's pick, I'll just pick this at random, Keller Williams. You pick the Keller Williams frame, and then you're going to see that that background is going to change to red. You can come back in here and change your tagline, or you can add a new one. And so this gives you a lot of opportunity to really differentiate how these shareables look out on social media and to ensure that they always have your contact information. So let's go through a couple of other ones here. So we've got the exclusive shareables. So we've just launched this product, so there's one in here, but twice a week we're going to be adding exclusive shareables. So this library is going to build over time. And these exclusive shareables, again, are only available to premium subscribers. So I can come in here, and again, for this one, I could change. Maybe I wanted to use a blue background. So I pick the blue background, I can update my tagline, and I'm good to go. So just like that, super simple, 2-3 clicks, and you're absolutely set. So what else do we have here? We've got a couple other fun things. So one of them is the fun fact shareable. This is what I was referring to earlier. So we'll pick a city. So in this case, we'll pick Orange, California. That's where our office is based. So if I pick Orange, California, what it's going to do is it's actually going to go and calculate the median price of a home. So in that market, the median price is $749,000. And then I'm going to pick a fun fact. So in this case, I'll pick, I don't know, iRoomba robot vacuums, right? So, did you know that for the median price of X, you could buy 3,803 iRobot Roombas? And there's some fun little light copy that goes around with that. And again, as always, I can come in here and I can pick my branding, so I can add my frame to it. And now you have, hundreds of combinations and options for how to differentiate and create your shareables. All right, the next one here is the make your own shareable. And this one's really fun. So what we wanted to do, and this is kind of to AJ's point when we talked about Canva earlier. Canva is a really great service. There's a lot of stuff there, but what we really try to double down on is making this as easy to use as possible, as quick as possible. So you can come in here if you have an idea, you can put in some text, you can pick a background, and you can share something out into the wild. So what we've done here is we've created a number of backgrounds. So the first set of backgrounds are just different colors. And so these are pleasant, beautiful colors. And if you kind of keep going through the library here, what you're going to see some other custom design frames. So we've got a really fun one with some house icons. We've got some textured backgrounds. We'll pick this bold one for the purposes of this demo. And then you simply come in here and you can type in what you want. So did you watch yesterday's episode of the Daily List Report? Of course you all did, right? You type in the text, and it's all set right there. And again, I can choose my branding. So in this case, maybe we'll go with black and white. And I can add my tagline if I want to, or I can not. And then that tagline can be custom to the shareable. And just like that, I'm set. Now, in addition to this, what we talked about was the lead form. So when you share these on Facebook, or if you decide to share these somewhere else, all of these actually now come with a lead form. So if I open up that link, I clicked copy link, and I put in the website address right there, you actually see that I have a lead form here where I can put, where a lead who clicks on this, who wants to contact me, can give me their information and they can send it to me. And this information is going to go right inside of the product. You'll be notified of the lead and you're all set and ready to go. So it's a nice extra piece on these that as you're sharing this content out into the wild, that people can click on them and people who engage with them are actually going to be able to contact you directly from that. So, I mean, pretty exciting. Ajay, I'm going to bring you back on. So you got to hear the entire demo there, Ajay. But it's a lot of stuff, right? I mean, there's a bunch of great things there that we think address all of the things that we heard from our users over the last year and all of the things that they want. So, do you have anything that you want to add, any additional thoughts on the product for our agentpreneurs?
Well, it's a really impressive product. I can't believe you guys put this together as quickly as you did. That's amazing. But I am reminded of something that some of our early agents with Shareables told us that they were doing. That now that we have the whole permanent record, is interesting. Is that they used to actually program the catalog of Shareables that they were using, so they were themed in a certain way, right?
That's right.
They didn't necessarily use them in the order that we were delivering them inside the daily email, but they were actually picking their own order based on messages that they wanted to get out in the market. And now that we're opening up the catalog like this, they will have the ability to do that, I take it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It really does I think maintain the simplicity of the product, but give a lot more optionality in terms of the content that you put out there.
Absolutely. It's great. I also have to say, you should be on QVC or Home Shopping Network because that was impressive.
Nice, nice. So, for those of you who are listening right now and you want to know how do you sign up for this, it's really simple. You just go into your ListReports account. You click on the Shareables tab here right on the left. So you click on the Shareables button and you'll be taken to the page. And if you select from this first drop down any of the premium options, it'll take you to a page that gives you all of the value props, all the information, and allows you to sign up very, very simply. So, we're just super excited about this, right? Again, we tried to make it accessible, and the point that you just made about how quickly we put this together, that's an important one, right? Because one of the themes and messages of the show has been to sort of double down and dive and sort of dig deep, right? And one of our early observations was as our agents are challenged to reach their audience, we want them to differentiate. We want them to have great products to do that. And so we moved quickly, right? So there's some lessons in there, I think, for our agents. But why don't you share any thoughts you have on that?
Well, I think you're right. And as we've said before, we wouldn't ask agents to do anything that we're not doing, which is we're
Yes.
trying to reinvent how we think about our business, how we think about the real estate industry, and how the landscape has shifted. So we're doing that, and this is kind of a great example of the kind of thing that we're trying to do that demonstrates that. But yeah, it's just another proof point that the world is moving fast. We're shifting along with it, and we hope that our agents are doing the same.
Amen. Amen, AJ. And it feels like every week we have this breaking news and we're like, we've released a new product, we've released a new thing. And so it's been tremendously exciting for us. Fantastic. Oh, Sandra Bedoya, if I pronounced that right, says great stuff. So that's awesome. And then we have another comment, which is a funny one, says, but can premium shareables cut through a tomato soup can and still maintain its edge? Probably a reference to the QVC home shopping piece of this.
That's
So
right.
that would be fantastic. H, thanks so much for joining today and sharing your thoughts and
Thank you.
perspective on this. It's an exciting day for all of us.
Thanks, agentpreneurs. Take care.
Fantastic. Well, that's great. So again, this is available now inside the product. Jump in, go into the shareable section, sign up if you think this is as great as we do. Really excited about it. I can't wait personally to see how creative all of you get with this. We've really enjoyed seeing how agents have taken our shareables and done all sorts of very interesting things with it, many of which actually inspired what we're doing here today. So thank you for your time and attention. Join us tomorrow. Michael Bordellis is going to be on. Super top agent, 1,400 transactions, hard to believe. Also a high school friend of mine, so I'm going to try to dig up some dirt on him as well. And Friday, we've got Risa Grau coming on to talk about how to boost your immune system for our second Fun Friday. It's going to be a really exciting week. All right, everybody, stay safe, stay healthy. Happy Earth Day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.